Have I got a story for you? So we're at our second campsite of the day because the first and last park by that border, we're even further north now, there's permanent campers in there, and it was quiet as a mouse. You could hear a pin drop. We got a spot right across from the showers. As soon as we pull in and get out, start unhooking, all of a sudden the wife and the sister-in-law, extra loud. Same with the people across. Every time you go over there, they break a branch or slam a door. Stuff you can't fucking get in trouble for, but they are do. It's very clear. They did it when the officers returned. So anyway, I'm standing in my camper in the doorway as I'm doing right now. After I showered, of course, the guy right next to us, the people that started up immediately, I took a long ass shower. As soon as I walk out of that bathroom door that's locked, every shower is individual, so they can't creep in on you and go, and then back out like they do at KOA. True story, man. 40, 50-year-old men following you into the bathroom just to do it and then go, and they smile when they do it. Okay, so this is government. Like I've said, got extra confirmation today. I've always thought and theorized and read about it, but it's a big problem. Anyway, those people, because I stood in the doorway and talked like I talk now, and I said, yeah, you know what? You'd be the first, not to them, but out my door. You'd be the first person to go if the apocalypse hit, because they're all 100 pounds overweight. That's plenty of food. You know, things like that. They called and said, basically I got criminal threatening charge, long story short. And the cops showed up, and I had M4s and whatever the rifle with the orange highlighting, probably beanbag or rubber rounds. Okay? So that is what's happening in your country. That's not me. But if you, well, it ain't that much. But if you don't fucking let these people bother you and slow your day down and overcharge you and step on your dog and step on your kid and flatten your tires and scratch your paint, pick at your hood, pretend like they don't know how to do a proper oil change, but they work at an oil change place, pretend like they don't know how to put a dust cover on that requires no parts whatsoever. You just go like that and twist, but they work at a tire place, okay? That's the new normal. That's called targeting, and they just shun you. So if you did wrong, I'm not saying I did, but let's just say this is that. So someone in the government thinks you did wrong. They're not getting justice, so they tap private sector area and all that. So you're already having trouble, so they give you more trouble. You're already having an emotional issues, mental issues, psychological issues because of the barrage that you're being bombarded with. And then the government hires people to add on to that. Okay, that's been going on with me and with other people for 4 years. Now, if you read into it, this is what they do to dissidents. COVID's total cover and bullshit. Obviously, look at the country. That was a slow takeover. Not so slow. Wear a mask. Get 6 feet apart. Do this. Do what I tell you. Don't do this. Don't go out right now. Come inside. I thought that shit stopped when we were 18. Clearly not. Okay? So, I got weapons drawn down on me by 5 fucking police officers. They were very nice, but they have to respond to what they're called for. That is what the people all the way up here in Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, you name it. That's coming to everybody. These people that are on the civilian tip, that's slowly going to go away. The government's always going to need people to do their dirty work for them. And these dirt merchants are well and ready. You got people that live where you live. You're not broke, but you're struggling because of, job, marriage, this bullshit, legal issues. So you try to stay inside. You try to go about your business. And these people insert their fucking big fat asses and their big fucking noses into every facet of your life because government said so. Okay? So that is what happens across the country to you if they think you're a gang member, an extremist, if you don't go along to get along, and I do not. Okay? And this shit's bullcrap. All of this is against the Constitution, your constitutional rights, your civil rights, your human rights, all that. It violates every single facet of human rights in this fucking country. Okay? And that is what happens to me. Imagine what they do to other people. Okay? Now, there's a bit to this. If you have any job in the government with a secret or a top secret, this will happen. But when you have a TS, it's for life because of some of the things they told you And then other people, if they find that out, or if other people that you worked with don't like you, they can target you. How do you not get a job after 10 years of doing the exact same thing with a clearance level that costs the company you're applying to 6 figures to run the investigation, but you've already got the clearance? So you just saved the money. How do you not get a job like that until your clearance is gone? So it's a very dirty thing to do. It happens in all the 3 letters. Any government job, this can happen, anything corporate especially. But the government can do it differently because they go, oh, look at this little detail you left out. Well, now we can go this way through the fucking roof. Okay, but it's all illegal. It's been on camera for 4 years. I've got police reports. I have another police report now. Okay, so 3 families, very purposely, big, fat, overfed, not poor, permanent campers that do that for a living, and they make $1,000. I bet you they made $1,000 for doing that call. Because I stood in my doorway of my trailer in my camping ground that I paid for and talked this loud because they're just slamming the door over and over and over and over. Or falling, oh, you got to go to the bathroom? Or we're going to go behind you. Oh, you're coming out? We're going to go in front of you. Okay? 3 families. I had enough time to back in, drop the trailer, go take a shower, get back in and hear, blah, 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 police department, come out with your hands up. Put your fucking hands up. M4 in my face, okay? M4 in my fucking face. Not 1, not 2, but 3 or 4, and a fucking shotgun. Because a bunch of fat, lazy fucks in this country that want to make America great again, that work for the government, because they probably got in trouble doing some dirty shit, trying to make America great again. Those fat fucks called and said that someone and their dog is threatening to shoot them and all this dumb shit. You know, the same stuff that happened in fucking Vermont and South Carolina and North Carolina. And those same people fit all the criteria, like when I went to the Chinese restaurant. Oh, 3 red cars parked out front, 2 blue cars parked right next to my vehicle, and they look at you while they're doing it. Or they'll fucking run into you, and then if you fucking say anything to them, they go, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, get out and do that to my face, you old fuck. They don't. They roll their window up and they talk to their wife and they stop looking at you. So these people have been given some kind of authority by our federal government after FEMA and all that. It's all has to do with that. 9/11, Katrina. Every time there's a major fucking thing, FEMA and the cops and everybody get together and make a bunch of rules so they can do this to people. And what it really means is they just don't want you in their neighborhood. Well, I'm pretty fucking fair-skinned. I was born in this country. I served the government from 19 to 30, having a real hard time. Haven't killed anybody. Haven't fucking shot anybody. Haven't stabbed anybody. I've been stabbed. I've been shot at. I've been threatened by people on this side of the law and that side of the law. I've been assaulted 3 times. This is 4 years. This is what happens just because you had a certain job in the government. And then when these people, when your family and your friends, find out they can make money off of you, they call everybody they know. And when you have railroad ties in your front yard, too easy when you go anywhere in the country. It's really like that. I can break it down like that. Truckers, real estate, RVers, train folks, and then everybody beneath them. So I can expose everybody doing this and shut down major corporations, or we can knock it the fuck off. And that's real. I mean, it would be a long fight, but I have enough evidence after circling the fucking country over and over and having the same bullshit pulled every fucking day, the same rip-off artist scam pulled on us every day. And if you say anything, oh, I'm not following you. Okay, well, how come when I walked around this empty lot, you pulled in your bright red Jeep and just sat there, and when I walked around a second lap, you're still sitting there? You haven't gotten out? You're not shopping? You're just sitting there like I said you were. But they're not following you. That is the government. That is the new normal. That's why there's so many churches and things like that. I want you to do me a favor, and I'm going to get off this, but you remember, just because me and the dog are standing in my camper where there's no fucking windows, this loud, the people that are intentionally harassing you and following you around and slamming their door and talking loudly and clinking shit and dragging shit over and over and over, or I don't know, walking up to your motorhome and just opening the door like you guys are fucking buddies in the middle of a truck stop in a state you've never lived in, those people make money off of you because they can lie, and there's 4 of them, and so there's 4 fat-ass liars over here, and there's 4 fat-ass liars over there, And I'm going to go out on a limb and say each group made about $1,000. Now you break that down, that's $250 a piece. Just like North Carolina this year and last year, just like South Carolina this year and last year, where I caught the same people at the same park being right near me 12 months later this summer in South Carolina at Sesquicentennial. Okay? That's what your country does just because you had a certain job, and the fucking fat, lazy Americans that cry patriotism but really are just down for whatever to make a buck. Yeah, they're all 100 pounds overweight. Okay? So all this is a smokescreen and bullshit, and that's the new normal. People can snitch, and as long as there's 3 of them, and it's always been that way, but it's really that fucking way now, and that's going to come to everybody. Look, I can't go anywhere without people waiting for me to follow me out of a gas station, out of a grocery store, out of the vapor store, out of the dispensary, which I have to smoke because I'm already fucked up, and this shit makes me even more fucked up, and what they're doing is against ADA and FHA and other federal regulations that are supposed to protect disabled people. Not coddle, not fucking give extra opportunities, the same treatment. That's where the equal treatment comes in. Black, white, red, brown, 2 legs, 3 legs, no legs, okay? You all get the same opportunity set in front of you. Now, from there, whatever's wrong with you, okay, well, you can't do that, but you can do that. That's how it's supposed to go. That's equality. Not fucking, oh, well, this happened 30 years ago. Can I sue for millions and millions of dollars? I'm not saying a woman wrote that rule, but that sounds an awful lot like a married couple. Remember 5 years ago and blah, 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 blah. So that's your country, man. I pulled in, dropped the trailer, talked as loud as I'm talking now, like, hey, you know, I just got here and you're already being fucking rude assholes. Awesome. But there's nobody 3 rows down. That's it. So these people are on the windowless side of my truck and trailer. Slamming, talking, but you could hear a pin drop when I rolled up. I go take a long-ass shower, and as soon as I come out, that same guy from that same site, oh, time to take trash out. 11 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to go walk all the way to the front. Just like South Carolina, just like North Carolina. You take your shirt off, those guys take their shirt off and walk. They all take turns. Sounds stupid, doesn't it? That's what fraternal orders are all about. That's every fraternal order in the country. If you add those up, sorry, that was the point. Let me circle back. That's what you need to look up. Look how many people are in the Catholic Church, the Christian Church. Don't break it down. Just Christian, Catholic, okay? Any college sorority, okay? College fraternity. The Moose, the Lions, the Elks, the Masons, the Shriners. If you add all that up, that's several armies worth of people. Don't believe me? Well, when I was in the military, the Army was roughly 400 some odd thousand people. The Air Force and the Marines were roughly 200,000 people. The Navy was a little less than the Army, 300 some odd thousand, maybe 400,000. And then the Coast Guard was 50. Not counting reserves and the Guard. So now when you look up just one fraternal order, one of the biggest fraternal orders in the country, there's over 500,000 people in it. I don't want to say nationwide, but worldwide. So that means just in this nation, you're looking at 250,000 people. Just in one fraternal order. Then their wives and their daughters have their own fraternal order. That's the army that people talk about. Because those people run everything. It's in every town. I've driven around the country. Lodge, 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 lodge. I'm not saying anything to be disrespectful, but those are the people that do things like this, along with corporate CEOs, VPs, presidents, and things like that. Those are the type of people that do it, and those are the people that get those fucking seats first. And their wives, and their daughters, and their sons. Okay? So just that right there, those fraternal orders that claim to be behind the troops and claim to be patriotic, well, I serve this government with a clearance, so that means I know stuff that even those folks don't know, or maybe they didn't know, and they're treating me like I don't even belong in this country. And that's what happens when you're a target, is they just accuse you of everything. Okay? So they'll make you... Border Patrol will fly up on you in all 4 corners of the country. Whoa, you're by the border. Yeah, but they fly towards me. They pull out of somewhere like they're going to arrest somebody, and they just stop right by you. Arizona, California, Washington, Maine, Vermont. Okay, so you guys are being dicks. Okay, I had a paramedic do it too. Paramedic in an orange Jeep. Remember what I said about orange cars? Paramedic in an orange Jeep. Oh, this is in a town of less than 3,000 people on the main street. White car, white car, white car, red car, red car, red car, blue car, blue car. That right there is enough for the town. So anyway, go study up all the fraternal orders, and then read up on all this, read up on that, and read up what they're all about. They're all about this. Who do you think wrote the Bible? It was a man. Not a holy man, a man. That's why everything in there correlates, because it's a book that fucking runs parallel with the earth, and they just, it's not the book predicting. Man wrote that in there, and then they get it going, and it makes money, and most people buy it like you idiots have, and wearing masks and fucking hand sanitizer and daggone plexiglass everywhere. Just right there, if you invested in SN95 masks that are $5 a piece, hand sanitizer gel, and plexiglass, you'd be at least a millionaire several times over right now. Okay? So study up on all that. Because we're talking this loud with no one in front of us but people behind us being loud and obnoxious, because I'm talking this loud to myself, referencing what they're doing. They called the cops and said someone threatened to shoot them or something like that. And I had several officers draw down on me and yell at me to get my hands in the air and get down on my knees and get embarrassed in front of those all those three fat fucking loud piece of shit families that snitch for a living, which I've never done to anybody. Okay? But that's the new normal. And because I'm all by myself and it's just me and my dog, even though that people that serve the government that are disabled are supposed to be protected because they're disabled. People that are disabled for whatever reason, an accident or, other medical issues, those are supposed to be protected. What they're doing is the equivalent of putting fucking speed bumps or rocks in front of somebody in a wheelchair every fucking 10 feet and going, or throwing a door in their face. But because I have all my arms and my legs, nobody fucking cares. Okay? And if you react, that just makes it worse. You understand? So what you saw, people guarding their own home while their property is being invaded, trespassed, how they only had weapons, and I know someone's going to pick this apart, shut the fuck up. If it's your property and people are entering it, you can stand out there with a fucking weapon, especially during that fucking shit. Okay, what happened to them happened to me, except I had no weapon drawn. I was inside my dwelling, and I had just fucking gotten there, okay? So now your 2 days of park fee, gone, okay? Now you got to pay the bailman. Now you got to fucking get some gas. Now you got to find another spot and do some driving, okay? So, because those fat fucks, and you'll see them all over, dude, they're always doing this when they walk by you. That. Or like this on their phone. When you see people doing weird, exaggerative shit like that, they're fucking shills for the government, and they need to be slapped in the fucking face, but you can't because they'll tattle, and you'll go to jail even though they're there violating your civil rights. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris do not run this fucking country, period, end of sentence. If someone that served this government during a time of conflict, extended conflict, over a decade, just like Vietnam, and they do to us exactly what they do to them. They hire people to follow you around, to sabotage your vehicle, to sabotage your dwelling, to sabotage your food, to sabotage your water, to sabotage your pet's food and water. Okay? I've had burning solvent and antifreeze in my dog's dish after being gone for 4 days, circling just California, Arizona, Nevada, trying to figure this out because the cops out there are all paid off. Yeah, CHP, Las Vegas Metro. Yeah. Those areas are just every bit as bad as Chicago and Detroit. I can tell you personally. Someone that stayed inside, only went to the store and the gym and school. And when I was going to school, while I was driving 1 mile down to the parking lot, someone that works at the school, because of the level of suspicion that's been raised by all these snitches that want to make $1,000 off of you because you're medically whatever, and they think it's fucking funny, dude. And it's a bunch of fat fucking idiots, too. It is. It's a bunch of fat idiots sitting on their ass, eating, being loud, and then if you go, hey man, shut the fuck up, they go, you can't talk to me like that, I'm calling the police. Boo-hoo, I'm gonna eat some more Oreos. I mean, they're fat, they're not doing anything, they're waiting for someone like you and me to come in so they can do that and have fucking M4s drawn down on me. So you serve this country, and then those fat fucks that run up to Canada or France or wherever the fuck so they don't have to go, when you all come home and it's all said and done and you're in the better shape you were than when you went in at 20 and they're 150 pounds of fucking chewed bubble gum, when the apocalypse does hit, like I said, those are going to be the first people to get thrown on the barbecue spit. And that's not a joke. If shit hits the fan, just like Zombieland, those motherfuckers are going down first because they can't do anything and your money's not worth shit. Who are you going to call? The government's been collapsing around us for 3 years, 4 years, quickly. This country's unrecognizable. And I've been home officially since 2013. And you can watch it, you can just watch it crumble in front of you. So go look at all the fraternal orders and them and what them and the neighborhood watch and the police do collectively. I'm not talking shit, I'm just saying that's what happens. And now the time frame that we're in, plus some personal issues from my side, you know, like if you come from a small town and there's, you know, gangs or whatever, things like that add to it. So they all snitch too. But you can see they follow your email, they follow your phone, right? If your dog's chipped, your car's chipped, all right? Your phone, I'm sorry, not your phone, your credit card, your debit card, okay? If you've had legal issues and someone else fucking pushed a little money across the counter while you're unconscious, you're probably chipped. Don't believe me? What the fuck is that? See that? That's been there since 2011, 2010, when I got stabbed and then I went to Afghanistan. Never gets bigger or smaller, never goes away. What the fuck do you think that is? Okay? So that's what happens in this country now. You serve the government, you try to stay to yourself, you use the money, and only the money that you earned while you were getting fucked around in there too. And you get, when you come out, you get treated like total fucking trash. I wouldn't even say second or third class citizen. That's America, or whatever this place is called now. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris do not run this country. Period. End of sentence. Okay? Everybody's going to start getting guns drawn down on them, just like those people on the news do. Guarding their house, guarding their car, guarding their business, guarding their children. And because they have a weapon involved, somehow the public, when you can't do that, they're racist. Well, every fat fuck at that park was lily white. Okay? Unless you know me, I'm pretty fucking pale. And we don't get a chance to get tan because we're too busy getting snitched on for stuff we didn't do in every state park. So, gee, I wonder if those people are, I don't know, selling drugs or trafficking people. Anyway, that's your country. That's America. That's the entire fucking, all the lower 48s. 4 laps, guys. That's your country. Because you stand in your dwelling and speak your mind at this volume, the people that are gaslighting you and being loud and obnoxious on purpose, as soon as you show up in an otherwise quiet place, they're going to tell on you and you're going to get cuffed up. Happened today.